ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back, everybody. Today I have for you that everyone is sort of calling the SVS the high-end killers, changing the game. And I do agree, they are making a huge impact and they are phenomenal speakers. But can we compare something like the SVS Ultra Evolution speakers to something like the Klipsch Cornwalls? Price wise, we are not quite there, but we are not far off. Locally in South Africa, those are 160,000 and some change. These are 250,000 and some change. So we are quite far off still. But the question is, can we compare, and how do these speakers compare? Let me take the grills off. So the point of my video today is to discuss the differences between these two speakers and who these speakers are for. For the guys that don't know, I've done a video on the Cornwalls. You can go back and watch those. I will put a link in description. These are some of the best, if not the best, stereo speakers I've ever had, owned, and reviewed. I've had the La Scala as well. The La Scala, like I said, is better in its stereo presentation and the way it gives a absolutely jaw-dropping experience. These come close, but not exact. What these do better for me is the bass. The La Scala with the horn-loaded 15 doesn't give a lot of bass. This has a lot of character from the La Scala with the horn-loaded upper tweeter and mid, but the bass is a box bass with ports, so you do get a bit more bass. Where the La Scala is open baffle, whole different bag of chips. Now going to the Ultra Evolution, it's a completely different speaker and design. We have the tweeter being the diamond coated normal tweeter, shall I say, where this is horn loaded. This is a timer line baffle where it's not really timer line, but it does its own thing with the 15-inch and the horn loaded mid bass and the horn loaded tweeter. So timer line here is not a thing as on those. We'll get into that as well. Let's quickly just go through over the basics. Bass on those is 4 times 8-inch. Bass on this is the 15-inch driver. The paper, and that's their composites that they use. And this one, it is the paper as they use in all the old school drivers. Mid-range MTN configuration, this being horn loaded. Efficiency, obviously, being Klipsch and horn loaded, these are over 100 and something dBs efficient. They can run off a AA battery. That's how efficient these are. Those not as efficient, they need more power. But I'm going to be testing them on the same amplifier today so you guys can see. And I've chosen the SVS Sound Bass. I have tried the M1 on them as well. I prefer the Sound Bass. Just has a better presentation for me than the M1. Okay, so these will be for your hardcore old school audiophile in look, design and sound. Those will be more new school, but still people wanting very precise and very detailed audio. The next point, these are, even though they're efficient, they are not easy to run in the sense that every amplifier makes them sound very different. Where on those, they do sound different, but you can still hear it's the same sort of speaker. This changes completely. It will sound like a completely different speaker running on a different amplifier. I think a valve amp here is the way to go. These two speakers cannot be further apart, although people will compare them because they do qualify as high-end audio, we are going to a very high price bracket here. Real walnut veneer finish, gloss black MDF painted finish. Okay, so I've lived and owned both of these speakers, so I can give you my honest review. My honest review is nothing that I've heard stereo-wise compares to these Cornwalls. When these are set up correctly, in the corners where they like to be, face towards you, right amplification, and that music plays. What did I always say about my Goosebumps? You can trust them, they don't lie. The stereo presentation that these give, it's unlike listening to a recording, but more being in there with the band, being part of the band. It's absolutely breathtakingly insane, to a point where you just get lost in all audio nirvana. I can't even, I'm trying to find the words. I think in the first video as well, trying to find the words. These have now been sold. So this is the last video I'm going to be doing with them. I'm going to be boxing them up, and the client has paid the deposits, and he will then take delivery of them. Said client was here last week on Friday, and we listened to them. And his words were he's been chasing perfection all his life with Bowen Wilkins, and he's just never been 100% happy. He heard these on Friday and was just, he's never heard anything like them before. And that's the only thing I can tell you. You need to experience these in person. The sad reality is most of us will not be able to experience these in person. They are expensive. They are not the prettiest, so they're hard to come by. And there's very little stores where you can just walk in and listen to any heritage products. And that is what I try to change in time, is to have a place where you can come in, listen to them, and I can give you my honest opinion because I've lived with them. It's not just that I sell them or I install them. This for me started as a hobby and a passion long before I started doing it as a business. So I still approach this as a hobbyist, and I want to hear what they sound like. That's why I always say spec does not impress me. I don't listen on paper. I listen to the products, and I need to live with the products. And I will not personally sell something that I would not live with. I can't recommend something to you that I would not personally use. Both of these, phenomenal. Like I said in the SVS speaker, one of the best speakers I've ever tested. This will be the best speaker I've ever tested. And I've not reviewed them, but I've listened, sold, and installed the Monitor Audio Platinum 300. That for me is still an absolutely amazing speaker that I think I would still place above the Ultra Evolution, but not above this. This just does something differently. But although you can use them for home theater, I do not know if I would, because now you need to match them to a matching center. You see the problem. You need to sort of do what Youthman did, and he had La Scalas, and he ran 3 of them. But to get like one odd out La Scala, you'll have to get someone that blew up one, or one is damaged and get the other one, or buy a set and keep one spare. So it becomes a very difficult process. They do not market them as home theater, although they'll do an amazing job. But my point is, these will always be a beautiful stereo set. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The walnut is absolutely stunning. If you guys have not seen the walnuts, I will post some pics. I will snap some pics now of all the sides so you can see how beautiful this walnut is. I'm going to do some demos as good as I can, guys. I've got the microphone. I've tried to set them up. The Cornwalls aren't really where they need to be. They need to be in the corner. The SVS shooting past the side, but I'm going to give you a little taste for those that have not been able to test any of these speakers, so you can just hear how remarkably different they are. I'm going to try and keep the volume the same as well, which is almost unfair because these are efficient. If I find that to be too unfair, I will try and level match the speakers. I think that'll be the best thing to do. Let's do them one where the volume is the same, and we'll do one where I level match them to the same decibel output, so we can sort of do it that way. Then I'll play my song that I always test with a bit of everything in there. I just want you to hear how different that is. And then also I'm going to listen at the same time. I'll come back and then we'll chat about it. Here we go. Age Before Beauty. So Cornwall's first. So as expected, I had to level match to get to the same volume as on the Klipsch. I'm going to play them first not level matched, and then I will level match so you guys can hear the difference just in efficiency. So here we go, SVS Ultra Evolution Pinnacles. So we don't need to do too much of that for you to understand efficiency and how more efficient speakers can drive easier on lesser amplifiers. So now next we will do the level matched. Okay, level matched. Hit me up in the comments. What did you guys think of that? I love it when you do that because I like to reply to you guys. So let me know what you thought. You could see the efficiency straight away. It's like they're so soft and then you have to up them. So we upped on that volume. It's on the Playfi app, as I said. I don't like the app for this, but I level matched them. It was about a quarter way more. So if we were on a quarter, on these, we want half the volume of those to get the same level of efficiency on audio outputs. But listening to these again, I don't just listen to that. That's what I play to you guys. I listen to other stuff as well, which I can't do on YouTube because the copyright struck. But I've got one song I always test on all speakers first, and that is A Stairway to Heaven. And to hear the separation of the instruments, and then the vocal should be smack bang in the middle. Again, my goosebumps, so you guys, I'm not lying to you. Nothing but no other speaker I've ever tested, and I don't know if I ever will, comes close to what this can do. A Stairway to Heaven. The instruments just start off on the right, and then in comes the guitar on the left, and then the vocalist comes on these. It comes like a Holy Ghost out of, not just in front of you, it comes here, and it's like the guys on stage singing. It's flippin' phenomenal. Then we pop over to those. Those speakers are absolutely stunning, but on that song, they don't have nothing against these. Where the SVS wins, and where the SVS will win, I can almost say any speaker, but I don't want to say any speaker, but 90% of them, the bass on that speaker is freaking crazy, insane, bonkers, about 10 times, and I'm not overreacting, what this 15-inch can produce. It makes the bass on this 15 sound obsolete. It's insane. But the mid-range and the stereo imaging on these put those to shame. So again, different speakers, different strokes for different folks. They all sound different. You will need to audition when you get to this level. You can't just go on someone's word. When you are spending this money, you are serious about audio, and you need to get yourself down in front of those speakers and try and A/B them like this. I can just tell you this much of what these speakers are for. If you are new to the stereo game and you just want something insanely good, these aren't for you. Those are for you. If you have been in audio all your life and you want an end game speaker to fill that little niche that no other speaker could ever fill, these are for you, sir. It is just that speaker. Even hardcore audiophiles will be floored by the performance of the speaker, and that is why the La Scala is still renowned as one of the greats. These speakers have not really changed since early in Klipsch's life, but they have changed the finishes and some of the crossover components. This will be the latest incarnation. But yeah, now I'm ranting on completely down a different path. The comparison is SVS a contender to take out the high-end speakers? I would say mostly yes, but certain speakers will never be touched. And let's not classify them as high end. Let's classify them as exactly what this range is known for, and that is legendary heritage speakers. These, the Tenoys. We can even put something in like the old Jamo 909 open baffles, when Jamo was still on top of their game. Those classify as legendary speakers. I will almost say not quite there, but holding the throne in its own, the Platinum 500 from Monitor Audio. I would actually like to get the Platinum 500 in. I was just looking at it again now. The spec on the Platinum 500 is very close to the spec on the Pinnacle. And that is what I'm sort of trying to get at this video, is it's an expensive speaker. It's 160,000 South African Rand, but the Platinum 500 is 500,000 Rand. And I would like to see, I think they can go toe to toe. But then we get in the middle here where we're 250, and it's just a speaker for a different connoisseur. I won't do that again, I promise. But that is what the speaker is for. And good luck and best of joys. No, not good luck. Best of life for the new owner on these. I know he's going to take good care of them. He's going to put them on some valves. I would actually love to hear that. I'm going to be delivering these to him in the coming month or so. He's busy doing some work at his home, and then I would love to hear them when they are set up properly. I'm going to box them up now for him. Guys, let me know, what do you think? SVS, what would you take? Would you take the Ultra Pinnacle, or would you save up a bit and go, yeah? Or is this not your cup of tea at all? Because I know most people are damn they ugly. No, it's not for me. And that's true. That is why this audio game is so subjective. Don't let anyone try and push their narrative on you. When you walk into a store, as soon as a salesman tries to push you in a direction, walk out. You aren't there to buy the speaker for him. You're there to buy the speaker for yourself. You must be happy. So, you need to be able to sit down in a quiet environment with a neutral salesman and listen to what they are playing for you. What the salesman's job is to listen to you. And what I normally do is I try to ask the client, what do you do? Cinema, music. If we've narrowed that down, maybe it's 50-50, what music do you listen to? What sort of sounds do you like? Are your ears sensitive to highs? Some people are sensitive to too much bass. And then we sort of narrow it down. Here's your contenders. Listen to those speakers. Listen to them and give me feedback. That is what you should have in a good demo. You shouldn't be pushed upon you. And if someone starts saying this is crap and that is crap, also walk out. I know a few salesmen like those in South Africa which think only their brand is the best brand and no other brand can compete with this brand. Bull. Absolute bull. Your ears are all different, guys. And now I'm ranting on that again. Okay, let's finish this video. I think I've said what I need to say, and I think it's clear who these speakers are for. Guys, if you did like this, as always, please like, subscribe, share, drop a comment down below. What would you like to see next? And also, let's get into this. Tell me what you think of this, guys. Until the next video, stay safe. Cheers. Bye.